everyone. My name is Carlos with Will Cuts Homes. I have the great privilege of being in this amazing house that we were able to negotiate and get for this amazing family. And I am here with my friend Sam. Sam, how are you?
Good, Carlos. How are you?
Very good, Sam. Sam, I want you to introduce your family because I've got some cool things I want to ask you and I want to hear about your journey.
Awesome. Well, I'm Sam Ostler. This is my wife, Lourdes, and this is our daughter, Janie.
So now that you've met this amazing family, Sam, here's one question for you. Being a homeowner this last year, what has that meant for you? And then ultimately, what has that meant for your entire family?
I think it's really meant a lot for me in the fact that it's allowed us to grow, and it gives us somewhere to grow from, right? So we aren't put around everywhere. We're actually, we have a base,
right?
And we're able to do whatever we want with that base. We're not limited in anything other than, what we want. So now we get to build our life, which is amazing.
Amazing. Sam, there's a lot of people out there that are going to celebrate your success, and at the same time they'll say, well, it must be hard. I'm confused about the journey. Can you talk a little bit about what was your perspective as far as the journey? Because one thing I know is you tried for a long time.
Right, yeah, it really did take us a while to get to where we needed to be to accomplish what we wanted. People like to say a lot of times, hard or easy, but it's how do you quantify that? How do you put that in a box?
Right.
And I think it's less of like how hard is something, and again, going back to like what do we want? Where do we want to grow from? And it's kind of the same thing, like how much do you want it? Like, right. Do you want it enough to go for it, or do you not? And I think it did take us a while to get that in our heads. So you guys helped out a lot on that too, to help us understand that that's where we needed to be coming from.
Yeah.
And once we understood that, it was like a rocket ship.
Well, I appreciate that. Can you talk a little bit more about what is that mindset? Because I think that's what I'm hearing. It was a mindset for you.
It really was. You have to have that go attitude, and there were so many times too where you have that momentary want to give up, right? Because it's not so much because it's hard, but it's the same as anything in life. It's unfamiliar. So you don't want to put forth that extra step because you're afraid of maybe that failure. But it's almost like sometimes you have to fail to succeed.
How important was it having a team of people that could help you with that? I mean, for you, and I'm sure you're not short of people that are perhaps in the industry, but tell me a little bit about the doors that you were knocking, perhaps not home doors, but you were knocking on doors to get to the ultimate door, which is in here.
Right. The struggle with, finding someone who was willing to care, who was willing, people who were willing to care, not just someone, but everyone on the team who had their specialty, had their insight, had their thoughts, had their experiences, had their wisdom, to put forth and, help us, again, elevate us to understand not only the process, but the outcome.
That's wonderful. What would you say in conclusion? What would you say to those people that are on the fence today? They're saying, yeah, I kind of want a house, but I just don't know if it's for me. I just don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I make enough. I don't know if I'll ever make enough. I don't even know if that's something that is in the cards for me. Can you speak a little bit about that and really speak to people who were a lot like you and not so long ago? I'm talking maybe 6 months, maybe more. But I know you were committed, but I'm curious if you can speak to that other Sam that is not on this side now.
Right. Yeah, I would.
Because yes, some people see it impossible.
Right.
And maybe that might have looked like that for you just a few months ago.
Right. Yeah, no, I would say it's...
That we tried.
I would say I'm lost now.
No, I'm curious because Sam, you were trying. You called. We spoke many times, and our relationship, I think, is great because it has grown over the years, actually.
Right.
But there's a lot of Sams out there that are, I don't know if I can. I've asked and they've said no, and are on that place of maybe giving up or maybe continuing that journey. What would you say to them?
I would say that home owning is pretty much for everybody. I don't think there is anyone that could not say my life would be better if I owned a home, if I owned a plot of land, if I owned a shack, whatever it may be. I don't think anybody could say my life is good because I don't own anything. Like, to own something, it's, you know, the same with when my grandfather bought my first car for me. How much value did I put in that car that my grandfather bought for me? I didn't put any value in that car. It wasn't until I bought my own car that I put a lot of value into that thing that I had to work hard for.
Right.
So when you're putting that value into something, not only are you gonna know, hey, this is mine, but you're gonna know how hard you worked for it. Like us, we bled, we sweat, we cried, we laughed, you know, all the things they say you do, we did.
Wow.
Those things to get to the point where we are today.
Yep.
Lourdes, for you, what was that journey like? I mean, seeing your husband struggle and really believing that this would happen. I know you were a big motivation for him, but what was that like? And I'll never forget, you were essentially the first one to reach out to us. We've kept the messages from Lourdes, and you messaged us January 2nd of a brand new year, and I remember where I was, but could you just speak to that and to many other wives and many other people that are on the fence? Because you didn't give up.
No, we didn't. It was tough times when I did. We have those moments that we're like, okay, we're living in an apartment. We want something that we owned, and we're having a rough time in an apartment. So I was telling him, I was like, we need to look for something that we can stay these hours, you know. So I was like, one of those days I was scrolling on Facebook, and I was like, he tried so many times with other people. They will not guide us where to go. So I was like, why did you try this guide? I was like, I've been seeing him selling houses, and I see videos of people that having so much hard time to get a house. And I'm like, and they got a house. I mean, something is important here. Why don't we try? And my husband, he's like, do you know them? I was like, no, I don't know them. But let's give it a try, you know? I was like, oh, he's like, okay, well. And that's when I messaged you. And I was like, I need more information. I need to know how this works, you know? Because he tried, and all they do is is like telling him what to do, but not give him the whole book or explained or guide us where to go, what to do, what is the next step, you know. So to me, it was really, really, really good that I made that good decision to message you on Facebook and find out that, you know, that y'all got a great team.
Wow, thank
really
you so
great
much.
team. Yeah.
I'm very curious. I mean, because the perspective of the couple is so known, but the child in the family is also carrying all of the stress. And I just, real quick, what is that like for you? I mean, because now you've got your room, but then just what happened before? Where were you at? What happened when you realized, here's some keys? And then what about it now? What's that like?
Well, when we were at the apartment, like, my room was like pretty small-ish, and so I didn't have much of an outlet to express myself. And of course, I was in school, and there was many times where I had to use like outside of like the regular time when people would be quiet down at the apartments, and so it would be a block of my creativity sometimes. And so the moment they were telling us like, hey, we're getting a house, I'm just like, really? I was like, oh my god, I was so excited because I could start envisioning like my room and stuff like that. And then when we finally like got the keys, I was, after like the months of them like being like, oh, we have to go through all of this and this and this, I'm just like, y'all are going through so much. I'm like, oh my god. But once we finally got the keys, I was just like, oh my god. I was like, it's true. Like, it's like we're at the step where we can go in. And once we did, and I finally like saw the room, I was just like, oh my god. I was like, this is my room. And I think after we moved in, I just felt like I could have my own space to like have my creativity flow in. And like I would tell my mom and my dad, I'd be like, hey, like I want to envision this room as like something me, like something that can represent who I am. And so it was so great when we walked into my room and I was just like, yes, I finally have something of my own that I could let out.
It's incredible. I wish we could totally take a shot of the twinkle in your eye, because I mean, I can totally see it. And that is what the pride of homeownership does, not just for a hardworking husband, but for an entire family. And if you are in the area and are looking for information or are on the fence, we would be happy to speak with you. Remember, my name is Carlos from the Wilcox Homes team, and we're at your service. Have a good one.